Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda. Welcome to the Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasa at the Brahma Muhurta hour. Before we begin the ritual of Nithyananda Yoga, let us enter into the deep space of gratitude and reverence to our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramshivam. Remember Swamiji in your Ananda Gandha. We'll begin with the Sadguru Vandana. Hold your hands in the Atmanjali Mudra. Keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Inhale deeply. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tadvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. We'll now chant the Shiva Mula mantra. Please internally chant the Shiva Mula mantra 11 times as we chant it for you. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 We'll now do the Tattva Achamanam. Please take the Panchapatra Mudrini and with your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra, please take 3 sips of water as you chant the following 3 mantras. Om Atmadattvam Shodhayami Svadha, Vidyadattvam Shodhayami Svadha, Shivadattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Rinse your right hand and with the base of your right hand thumb, wipe your lips from right to left twice. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Rinse your right hand again. With the index, middle and ring finger of the right hand, touch above your upper lip and below your lower lip. Rinse your right hand once more. With the index finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. The ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear and left ear. Rinse your hand again. With the little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel, right chest, left chest. Then with all the tips of your fingers, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the center of your chest. Rinse your hand one last time. Now, we'll chant the Sankalpa mantra. Grasp your right hand in your left hand. Keep both your hands on your right thigh. Create a conscious resolution for the most auspicious blessings to manifest from today's Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasa. Visualize the ultimate health, ultimate strength, and all the auspicious qualities to manifest through your body, and let the ultimate Paramashiva manifest through our body. ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा भगवच्छ्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम च शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते आद्य ब्राह्मणः द्वितीयपरार्धे श्री श्वेतवराह कल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे नित्ययुगे प्रथमे पादे जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भरतखण्डे मेरोः दक्षिणे पार्श्वे शकाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादीनां षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये विश्वावसु नाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने लक्ष्मीवेङ्कटेश्वर ऋतौ तुलामासे शुक्लपक्षे दशम्यां शुभतिथौ शुक्रवासरयुक्तायां धनिष्ठानक्षत्र वृद्धियोग तैतिलकर्ण एवं गुणविशेषणविशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ श्री कैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्त श्यामलापीठारूढ श्री मीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वराभिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञानविश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्तृ श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणासुमधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्रचामर श्रीचिन्नकाहलादि समस्त बिरडावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसंग सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्यापवर्ग वर्ष विश्रान जीमूत परमतकल्पकेसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु शपन शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञानभानु वीक्षणा निर्हार द्वदोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम अवतारभूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि नवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणी पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ नवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद जगद्गुरु श्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थम गुरुकृपाकटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थम क्षेमस्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थम धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फलपुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थम समस्त मंगलावाप्यर्थम भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम पूर्णारोग्य युक्त रात्रिक योगी सिद्ध्यर्थम परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये ओम above sprisya rinse your right hand and keep your panchapatra mudra safely aside.
Yes. Nithyananda, everybody. Welcome to another Brahma Muhurta yoga edition where we are practicing the world's most authentic yoga available on the planet thanks to His Divine Holiness, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Today we're going to continue exploring the Sakala Vinyasa Krama, the various different asanas within the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the first level sequence of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. And we're going to begin as normal. We're going to come to a standing position, warm ourselves up, get ourselves ready for the asanas to come today. Today we've got a lot of sitting postures actually, and so we're going to make sure that we're well warmed up both in our upper body and get a little bit extra warm in our lower body before we get back into a seated position. So let's all stand tall. We'll begin with nice big rotations of the neck, rotating the head in whatever direction you just naturally chose. As you go, just tune into your body. If you're here live with us on Zoom, it's early morning. It is 4:10 a.m. Brahma Muhurta hours. So nicely done just getting yourself onto the mat. Sometimes it's not easy. Having this Sangha, this spiritual community, this ecosystem available to you in Kailasas all over the world is definitely helpful. And if you're joining us on YouTube, whether live or recorded, nicely done. You've won the first battle of the day. And as you're rotating neck, just stop and go in the opposite direction. Yes, and as we're warming up our body, just continue bringing your awareness internally, seeing how you're feeling. If you're noticing any little bit of extra tension in your neck and any of these areas, feel free to just pause there for a moment, give it an extra stretch. At any point, if you feel like you need a little bit more time, a little bit more space in any area on your body, please, I encourage you to take that opportunity to make sure that you're prepared and you're capable of doing your best today. And then bring the head to a neutral position. Just turn your head to the right as if you're trying to look over your right shoulder. And then bring it to the left side. Just shaking your head side to side, nice and slow, but give yourself that little extra twist at the top. And then from a neutral position, bring your chin to your chest. And then tilt it back, just going up and down. And then when you feel ready and you want to put a little extra pressure on, feel free to do so. You can bring both your hands to the back of your head as your chin comes down to your chest and just press down a little bit, slightly there. And then you can bring your chin up towards the ceiling, pressing on the top of the head, or my preference is to push the chin up towards the ceiling just by using my thumbs. Bring your head back and forth, stretching in a vertical alignment. Then from a neutral position, bring your hand to one of the sides of your head. Tilt your head to the side. Bring the ear down towards the shoulder. You can use your hand, bring the weight of the hand onto the head, allowing that little bit of extra stretch, and rotate to the other side. And then back to the other side. One more time each way. And last side. Nicely done. Okay, from here, bring your hands onto your shoulders, respective shoulders, and just give yourselves nice big circles. Rotating the elbows nice and wide. And if you're able to make contact with the elbows in the middle, give yourselves a round of applause if you could clap your elbows together. Anybody able to do that? Clapping their elbows? Yeah, nice little round of applause. And as you're here, it's like that big yawn when you first wake up. Open up your chest as much as you can. Take your time in this movement. Stretch it out. And then rotate in the opposite direction. Good. And then release the hands, and we're going to make some big circles with our arms now. You're throwing your wrists and your hands around here. And then try and reduce that circle a little bit, size of it. And then a little bit less large. And then stop and try and make a really tight circles with the elbows locked. And then reverse the direction, nice and tight. The elbows locked, shoulders engaged, a little bit bigger. And then nice and big again. Good. Then we're going to go back and forth across the chest. Good. Then we're going to go up and down in opposite directions. Just throwing the hands up back and forth. Well, let's see if we can wake our brains up here again. You're going to start with both hands at the top and go in opposite directions. See if you can make circles. One hand going forwards, other going backwards. The occasional high five with your partner around. If your hands clasp one another, try and make sure that you have space in between. Umesh, it looks like you're thinking about going swimming. So if you're, we can all stop and go in the opposite direction now. So if you're at the top, both hands together, begin by bringing one hand forward, another backwards to a parallel position. There you go. And then bring it to a neutral position. So just break down the steps to arms parallel to the ground, vertically together, parallel to the side. So you're breaking it down into steps, and then eventually you can start getting a little smoother. There you go, looking good. All right, nicely done. Okay, we're going to rotate our wrist here. Hey, I didn't forget the wrists there. No, I skipped these. How's everybody's wrists do in the morning? How are your hands? Do they feel stiff like mine, or they fine? I see some people shaking their wrists. Does that mean they're stiff normally? Yeah, yours? They're fine. I find that as you age, they get stiffer. Fine? Fine? Yeah, it's just me. All right. Now we're going to take our fingers, press them up against the back of our palms or the front of our palm. Our palm. Open that up a little bit by increasing that tension. And then tilt the fingertips down, pressing up against the back of the hand. And we'll do the same thing on the other hand. And then fingers down. Okay, and then interlacing the fingers and give yourselves a little massage between the knuckles, tops of the hands. You can rotate your wrists if you'd like. Okay, give yourselves a squeeze. So squeeze your hands into a fist and then extend the fingers. Fist and extend. Just rotate through that, cycle through that a few more times. Good. Then we're going to move into our hips. Nice big circles. And again, as every other movement, give yourself the time and space to just notice how you're feeling. If you're noticing any tension in your lower back or side of your hip flexors, just be aware of what you're noticing happening within the body, and give yourself an extra moment or two to open up any areas that need a little more attention. Then we can stop and go the opposite direction. Good. Now we're going to bring our feet together, bending the knees, placing the hands just on top of the knees. Start by making some smaller circles with the knees, and then as we go through this, you can slowly make them wider and wider. But make sure you're engaging your ankles here just as much as your knees. So bending your knees down, getting a little bit of flexion in your feet. So you're leaning forward. The knees go beyond the toes, ideally, if you can do so. But try and get some lubrication going, blood flowing through the knees. Not an area where a lot of blood naturally flows through, especially while we're sleeping. So we want to make sure that they are nice and warm, rejuvenated as much as possible. We can stop and go the opposite direction. Good. And then come into a standing position. Getting ready for our skeleton dance. Is our music ready? Yeah? Okay, so while we're here, we're going to be focusing again on two things. We are skeleton structure, so you can keep your eyes open or closed. Just continuously bring yourself back to that visualization. And then shaking the body intensely. And you can feel yourself out. Notice what maybe feeling tense for needs a little bit more shaking, but you should really feel loose and vibrant at the end of this. So make sure that you're shaking intensely. You can start off slow and slowly get into it, but by the end, make sure you're being authentic, integrated to yourself, your body, where you're at today, okay? So whether your eyes are open or closed, let's all align to that visualization, your skeleton structure, and we'll start to slowly move our body. If you're around anybody else, make sure you have got a space that's cleared of all objects that may harm you. And we'll begin. Let's start to move with random chaotic movements.
सेव्यमान पावनामि पङ्कजं व्यालयज्ञसूत्रमिन्दुशेखरं कृपाकरं नारदादि योगिवृन्दवन्दितं दिगम्बरं काशिकापुरादिनाथ कालभैरवं भजे देवराज सेव्यमान पावनामि पङ्कजं व्यालयज्ञसूत्रमिन्दुशेखरं कृपाकरं नारदादि योगिवृन्दवन्दितं दिगम्बरं काशिकापुरादिनाथ कालभैरवं भजे.
That's it. Keep going. Doing good. Let's pick up the intensity a little bit more. Last few moments here. That's it. Keep going. Keep going. Shake, 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 shake. Good. In 10, 9, 8. Pick up the intensity. Last few seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Coming to a standing position. Standing tall on your mat. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. Hands by your sides. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Nice long deep exhalations out of the mouth. And start to let your breath come back to a neutral pattern, calm breathing pattern. And while you're catching your breath, just bring your awareness within. Notice what you're feeling. Seeing the body be in a state of vibration, wakefulness, energetic. And remind yourself that you just created this energy within you, as Swamiji's been revealing, initiating us all into understanding that energy is generated internally. Good. If you haven't already, you can slowly start to open up your eyes. And today we're going to, as mentioned at the beginning, we're going to be going through a few seated postures today. So before we do that, let's just warm up our legs a little bit more. And we're going to spend a bit of time just to make sure that the blood is flowing through there. And we're going to do that in a very simple way. Okay, so from a standing position, we'll raise our hands up above our heads, staying the elbows straight. You're going to slightly bend their knees and then coming into a deep squat position where your butt isn't quite at a 90-degree angle, but it's bent down a little bit more. Okay? And we're just going to hold here, keeping the glutes engaged, the quads engaged. Try and keep your elbows as locked as far as you can, or as best you can. Okay, and coming back up, you can release the hands. So if you're dealing with hip issues, knee issues, any physical issue, obviously listen to your body. But at the very least, you should be able to come down. And we're all able to sit down into a chair, right? And so do the best you can with the depth that you have here. We're going to do it a couple more times, okay? So the depth that you have, meaning if I have back pain or knee pain and I can only get to about this region where my butt is, quite high up, that's fine. But make sure that you're being authentic to yourself and you're coming down to a depth that works best for you, okay? This time what we're going to try is going to start off by rising up onto the tips of our toes, engaging our calves, our Achilles a little bit. Bring your hands up straight above your head. Try to keep your balance here, and then slowly lower your legs down again. And hold. So while we're here in Utkatasana, we're just trying to find comfort. Comfort in this strong, stable position, engaging the quads, holding here. Let's see if we can go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Standing tall, release the hands down. Give yourselves a little bit of a shake out in your legs. How are we doing there? Is that fine? Anybody feeling challenged by that yet? Yeah? Okay. We're going to go through this a couple more times, okay? This is leg day. And shoulder day every time I've been teaching. So today's leg day. I'm excited. Let's come up onto the tips of our toes again. As we do so, raise the arms up straight above the head. Try and lock the elbows, and then slowly start to lower the lower body down. And see if you can get your butt a little bit closer to a 90-degree angle parallel to the ground, the thighs. And while you're here, just as similar to all other balancing postures, try and find a drishti point, a point of focus on the ground you can lock your gaze onto. Try and find calmness and a natural breath. As the body starts to shake, remind yourself that you are powerful. You are here to explore your ultimate self, going beyond your previous limitations. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Good. Shake out your legs again. We'll do this one more time. While you're doing it, again, meet yourself with where you're at. So if you find that, okay, I can't keep going, and you just completely stand up, try and at least keep the legs bent a tiny bit, okay? So if that means you're not nearly at a depth of 90 degrees, that's fine. Just keep some sort of slight bend so your quads are slightly engaged in some way, okay? At any point, if you want to bring your heels down, that could be the first regression for you. Feel free to do so. But again, try and wake yourselves up here. Challenge yourself. Explore your possibilities today, okay? And again, as mentioned, we do have a lot of sitting postures coming up. So we want to make sure that your legs are getting some activity today. We do a lot of sitting in today's modern world, so just make sure that you're challenging yourself and giving your legs the time and attention that they need. Okay? So if you're breathing a little bit heavy like me, that's good. And let's get ready to go through one more final set here. We'll start with a deep inhalation. Exhale. And then this time on the inhale, let's bring our arms up above the head, keeping the elbows straight, locked as best you can. You can rise up onto the tips of your toes or keep the heels down if you need to, and slowly start to sink into a comfortable seated posture in Utkatasana here. While you're here, again, keep your gaze fixed at one point of focus, drishti point. Remind yourself that whatever you're looking at, that is Brahman. Remind yourself that you too are Brahman. And because you're looking out at Brahman and you are Brahman yourself, there's no need for worrying about balance. You're part of the same ocean of consciousness. You start to feel your legs shake a little bit. Just tune in, be aware. Reestablish yourself in that state of powerfulness and hold strong. If you want to come up, come down lower. Challenge yourself more. Find that strength within you. If you need to rise up a tiny bit, you can, but try and go deeper into it when the body wants to go and escape it. We'll go for another 10 here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Great job. Shake out those legs. Look good on this end. Nicely done, everybody. How are we feeling? Everybody doing good? Yeah? Okay. All right. Okay, so moving into the first part of the sequence, we have Samanasana. Going to require a little bit of hip mobility. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down onto our knees now. And in preparation for this, we're just going to spend a little bit of time to open up our hips a little bit more. In Samanasana, you're actually pulling your foot towards your chest. So it requires some bicep strength. But rather than using the strength of our own arms, our biceps, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our hips just by using gravity and pressing ourselves up against or down onto the ground. So a posture that we all are quite familiar with, most likely, that pigeon posture. You're going to be bringing either your left or right foot, whatever you feel called to start off with, up towards the front of your mat. And with the knee close to the chest and the leg bent, you're going to sink your chest down into the ground. Okay? Now we're going to slowly work our way to maybe potentially a position where your shin is parallel in front of you, meaning it's straight across. But right now, you can start off with that heel bent towards the perineum, towards the groin. And just spend some time, bring your awareness there, making sure that you're feeling the stretch, most likely in your glute and your hip. May feel along your thigh, maybe in your IT band, right along the side of your leg. Just notice wherever you're feeling the stretch happen and bring your awareness there. Try not to run away from any uncomfortable sensations, but tune in rather and go deeper into it. If at any point you're feeling pain in your knee, that's your cue to exit out of the posture and realign yourself. You should not feel this in your knee at any point. And let's slowly release, and we're going to come to the opposite leg. We'll come back to that side, so don't worry. We'll give it a little bit deeper stretch as well. Again, keep your heel close to the perineum, close to the groin. Just bring your awareness inside and see where you're noticing this stretch now. Should feel pretty good, especially if you were sitting in chairs all day. Should be able to notice this right away. Good. Then slowly release. We'll come back to the other side. This time, let's see if we can get our leg, our shin, so it's a little bit closer to parallel, a little bit closer to straight across your body. If you're not able to, that's fine. But again, in Samanasana, the first posture we're building our way up to, you are bringing your foot towards your chest. So let's try and envision that a little bit as we go into this next movement. Your knee's going to have to come out a little bit wider, and you're going to bring your chest a little bit further down. And almost play with that motion, that setup where you're bringing your foot to your chest rather than, again, pulling our foot up using the strength of our bicep. Let's just use gravity to our advantage here and start to lean further down to a point where you're trying to get that foot a little bit closer to the center of your chest. You start to feel that in a different area, a little bit more wider out in your hip. And if you're having any hip pain, or I know there's a few participants that have had hip surgeries in the past, make sure you're just taking care of yourself and you're moving slowly through this process, but also meeting yourself and being willing to go through that pain and that discomfort, especially after surgeries. It's extremely important to find that mobility again within you. So sit with that discomfort, that good pain, not that bad pain where you might feel that sharpness in your knee or a twist in your in your joints, but that good discomfort that is coming from muscles that are needing lubrication, massage, attention in general. Good, and let's slowly bring our foot back in, and we'll switch sides. Don't worry, we'll come back to that leg one more time before we move on. Again, as we switch legs, try and get that shin a little bit closer to parallel, so straight across, more in alignment with the bridge of your yoga mat. And again, we're trying to prepare ourselves for that position where the foot is going to be brought to the center of the chest. So just keep that in mind as we're opening up our hip here. But as always, just notice where you're feeling this. Spend some time focusing, tuning your awareness into those regions in your body. And again, this should be bringing about that good sensation, that maybe a little bit of discomfort, but that feel good discomfort. If you're noticing this in your knee, again, just back out, readjust yourself. Good, and then you can slowly rise out. We'll go one more time each side. We'll switch legs. This time, as you come back to the other foot, try and explore a little bit more and lean your chest to the far regions of your knee. And so you may feel it, the stretch in a deeper area and a different area. And so for me, with my left knee up, I can twist my upper body towards my foot and bring my left shoulder more towards my left foot. And I can start to almost press away and lean away from the knee. Okay. You can walk a little bit more in the opposite direction. You may notice that, I don't really feel a stretch when I go that way. But just start to explore a little bit deeper here. See if you can bring your elbows down this time if you haven't been doing so. Maybe you can get your chest a little bit lower so it's in contact with the shin. Maybe you can bring your knee a little bit further back, and so the shin is now completely parallel to the front of your mat. And again, the first posture, we're building towards a Samanasana, so we're trying to get that foot to our center of our chest. So see if you can lean a little bit further over and bring the foot to the center of the chest or closer to that region itself, making sure that you take care of the knee as you go through that motion. But try and go a little bit deeper into this posture than we've been doing. And as you're here, just breathe comfortably. Deep inhalations through the nose. Nice, long, slow exhalations. And we'll sit here for another 30 to 60 seconds or so. So dive deep into yourself. Allow that hip, that thigh to loosen up and open up. And for the last few moments that we're here, see if you can go a little bit deeper. Maybe you can exit tiny bit, and then exhale a little bit further down. We'll go for about another 10 here. Good. Then you can slowly release out of this posture. Bring that leg back, and we'll go to the final side and exploring in the same depth as we just did with the opposite leg. So again, that could mean that the heel is close to the perineum, close to the groin, or it's a little bit further away, extended further away, and the knee is closer towards the rest of the body, keeping the shin more parallel to the front of your yoga mat. And leaning further down, maybe you're getting onto your elbows this time and your chest comes down to a point where it's in contact with that shin, with your calf. And then same as before, maybe you're twisting your upper body, so you're turning, rotating your chest towards the foot, away from the bent knee, and start to explore that sensation. Notice what you're feeling, noticing any other areas creating space because of that subtle adjustment of twisting away. And envisioning moving into that posture, Samanasana, where the foot is brought to the center of the chest. Use gravity to your advantage here. And with each exhale, just see if you can go a little bit deeper into the posture. Breathing calmly through the nose. Relaxing in this. And while you're here, if you're staying stationary in one exact position and you notice the discomfort starts to fade, that's great. Your awareness has really opened that area up, but go deeper into it now. Take another inhalation and exhale and see if you can bring your chest a little bit further down. Maybe you twist your shoulders a little bit more to feel it open up a little bit wider in the hip in a different region. But if you're sitting and you find that comfort or the discomfort starts to fade away, that's great. But don't just stay stationary. Go a little bit deeper into it if you can. And we'll spend about another 30 more seconds here. Make sure you give yourself that time and attention needed. You want to start exploring a little bit more. And again, following your breath for those last few moments. On those exhalations, go deeper into the posture for about another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Slowly rising up out of that position. Whatever leg was bent, you can keep that bent if you would like, and the heel close to you, or you can extend both legs out and give yourself a little bit of a shake. But we are going to move into Samanasana now. So let's all just keep on the same side. With the right heel close to the perineum in this seated posture, you're going to bend your left foot and catch hold underneath. So you're scooping your hands underneath the heel, underneath the foot, and then you're pulling that foot towards the chest. Okay? So at the beginning, the tendency is you start to arch your back and you start to hunch forward. Try and keep your spine tall and elongated. Okay? So it's better to have an elongated spine with the foot not touching the chest than to have a foot touching the chest with your leg bent. Okay, so keep your core engaged. Start to pull the foot towards you. Okay? If you don't quite have the bicep strength to do this, or maybe you're feeling this strain a little bit too much in your biceps, then what you can do is you bring your arm all the way around so that the side of the foot is directly at the elbow pit. Is that what you call it? And you're using the leverage of your elbow pit to pull you rather than your bicep. Okay? See if you can get that foot all the way up towards the chest. And let's just zoom in. If you're not quite understanding what I mean here. So if you're having a little bit of struggle pulling this foot towards the chest because it's a little bit too much on the arms, you don't quite have that strength, or you just have really tense hips, then you can bring your elbow all the way down outside of that foot and bend the elbow, and then just keep the hand on the shin. And you can bring the other hand to the opposite elbow, and you could pull up that way. This way there's no bicep engaged really, or much less at least. And you can start to pull it towards the chest. Okay. Either way, try and keep that spine elongated. Seal that perineal floor. So squeezing the butt cheeks, you can imagine, beneath you. Lift your gaze up to your third eye. Visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. And the internal japa rotating in the Vishuddhi chakra in the throat center, Mahasadashivoham.
समानासनमाभक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादिसाधनात् एकपादमुरो दत्वा योल्लङ्घ्यवक्त्रके.
Nice guy, Kasoli release. You need to give your arms a shake, feel free to do so. Next posture, we're going to bring that hip flexibility and mobility a little bit further by lifting up that foot that was at the chest into Apanasana, where you bring it, that knee comes up over top of the respective shoulder. So you're trying to drive your heel back and lift the leg up so you can scoop your left shoulder underneath. Okay, and then planting the hands to either side of you. You're going to start to raise the right foot up off the ground. So again, left leg is coming over top of the left shoulder. Hands are planted to the either side of the hips. You start to lean back slightly and then extend the right leg up. Try and straightening out the leg as best you can. Okay, you don't quite have that hip strength. The heel can drop. Maybe it drops naturally anyways. Just do the best you can to keep the foot off the ground and raised as high up as you can get it. Okay. Same thing, the tendency is to start to tilt your chest down. Try and open your chest up rather, keeping the spine elongated. Same drishti point, we're gazing up towards our third eye as you're leaning back here. And I won't talk too long. You should really start to feel this in your hip. Start shaking. You're still holding, great job. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Take a deep inhalation through your nose. Nice, slow, long, controlled exhalation in the right chakra kumbhaka. And fight through this, maintaining Mahasadashivoham rotating in the throat center.
केवलं पादमेकञ्च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठेत दण्डवत् प्रभो.
Nicely done. Bring that foot down. Great job. If you need to shake out your leg, feel free to do so. And as we rotate to the opposite side, you're going to bring your left heel towards the perineum this time, towards the groin, and the right foot is going to be brought up towards the center of the chest. So bringing the hands underneath the heels and start to pull the foot up towards the center of the chest. Again, the tendency right away is the spine starts to arch, especially up in that thoracic spine. Try and elongate and raise the crown of the head higher and higher as the foot comes towards the chest. Again, if this is a little bit too much on the biceps, you can wrap that arm around and bring the side of the foot into that pit of the elbow and wrap the opposite hand around the thigh even, interlace your fingers, or you can keep the other hand just over the shin and bring the hand to the opposite elbow. But do the best you can. If this is too much for you from a seated position, you can rock down onto your back and pull the foot up towards your chest. So if you're somebody that's had a hip surgery, it might be a little bit easier for you to do this from a position where you're on your back. And again, you're using gravity to your advantage in this position then. But you should notice your hip is a little bit more open than normal, just because that little bit of extra time before. Same as the previous side though. As you start to incorporate the other components, bring your gaze towards the third eye. Swamiji into your inner space. Mulabandha is engaged. Deep inhalations through the nose, but nice long, slow exhalations, controlled in Rechaka Kumbhaka. Mahasada Shivoham rotating in the throat center. And Samanasa.
समानासनमाभक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादिसाधनात् एकपादमुरो दत्त्वा गुह्योऽन्यलिङ्गवक्त्रके.
Good, and then releasing that foot down. This time we're going to be lifting this same side over top of the shoulder. So the right foot comes up and the right knee is back, planting the hands to either side of the body. Slowly start to lean backwards. Let the leg naturally come up off the ground and try and straighten that knee out as best you can. Okay? If you're not able to get that right knee over top of your shoulder, you can even keep that right foot down. Okay? But try and engage that hip flexor now and fight to keep that foot straight so you're not bending the knee and the heel stays off the ground. Okay? So challenging posture, requiring strength in an area that we really don't use much throughout our day. See if you can hold that for another 10 seconds. As you fight through that, straighten the leg out even more. 3, 2, 1, come down. Nicely done. And shake out that leg. This time we're going to incorporate all those final components. Okay. That's enough time. Let's lift up the foot again. Bring it back up. Knee over top the shoulder. Plant the hands to either side of your hips. Rocking backwards. Let the heel naturally come up and then engage the hip flexor. Extend the leg out straight. Locking the knees. Open up your chest. Don't let that spine sink downwards. Gaze up to your third eye. Bring Swamiji into your inner space. Mulabandha is engaged. Mahasada Shivoham rotating in the throat center. Apanasana.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठेत दण्डवत् प्रभो.
Nicely done. Releasing that foot. Come back down. You can shake out both your legs if you need to. Great job. Next, we're going to move into Gomukhasana. So let's all begin with the left knee bent. We'll start on the same side. So left knee is bent and the left heel comes to the opposite hip. If you've got a lot of or poor mobility in your hips right now, you can bring a cushion and place it under your sitting bones. And either way, though, let's try and wrap our right leg over top of the left. And you're trying to stack the right knee directly on top of the left. This time the right heel is to the left hip. And see if you can square your sitting bones so both of your sitting bones are down onto the ground. So for the sake of trying to get your knees on top of one another, you shouldn't bring your right sitting bone off the ground. Try and keep them both onto the ground. Okay? And again, if you need to, you can bring a cushion up underneath you, underneath those sitting bones. Okay? But in Gomukhasana, we're going to bring our hands and just place them on top of our raised knee. So the right knee. And bring your gaze towards the tip of your nose. Okay? While you're here, keep Mula Bandha engaged, so seal that perineal floor. And you're visualizing the face of a cow in your inner space. Moving into this part of the sequence, we're incorporating Shitkari Kumbhaka. There's a few different variations of Shitkari Kumbhaka. There's a variation with the tongue curled. There's also a variation with the tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. Okay, so in this variation, the tongue is pressed up against the roof of the mouth, coming from the Sandilya Upanishad, a Shastra Pramana. So you're going to inhale with the tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth in that hissing type sound. And then you're going to hold your breath here. Okay, so in this part of the sequence, as we move forward this morning, incorporate the breathing as best you can. Okay, so hold the breath in this kumbhaka for as long as you can comfortably. Okay, don't just sit in the posture and be like, oh, this is boring. If you think this is boring at any point today, it means you're not performing the asana with authenticity. The intensity can tenfold just by holding your breath. Okay? So if you feel tired and bored, come back to the scripture, come back to the revelations that this is about the kumbhaka, the power of breath, the power of holding the breath. That is the pranayama. Okay? Continuously bring yourself back to that visualization as you gaze to the tip of your nose. Let's all take one cycle together here. So with a slight exhalation, let's inhale, Shitkari Kumbhaka, holding the breath. Let's see if we can hold the breath for 20 seconds together as we seal the perineal floor. The gaze to the tip of your nose, elongate your spine, open up your chest, puff it out a little bit. Sit with that little power posture. Visualize yourself as the face of a cow in Gomukhasana and continue holding the breath.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्पं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजये दक्षिणे विदता सव्यं गोमुखं यथा.
Nicely done. And then when you need to, re-inhaling in Shitkari Kumbhaka, maybe it takes one or two breaths to catch your breath before you can re-engage. But as we move on into the posture, we're in the same exact posture, but this time we're going to intensify by incorporating Uddiyana Bandha as well. So first we're going to bring our hands into Prana Mudra, holding on to the respective big toes. It's actually the opposite toes, but you're holding on to the respective toes on the sides of your hips. So my right hand, left hand are staying on either side of my body. Again, open up your chest so the spine elongates. And then the natural tendency is the shoulders start to rise up. Relax the shoulders down. Okay? So with that broad chest, we're still engaging Sakala Krama. With that tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth, holding the breath, and then exhaling from there. Challenge yourself to hold your breath as long as you can, comfortably, as you gaze to the tip of your nose. Okay, we're stealing the perennial floor still. Before we engage the Uddiyana Bandha, just bring yourself into the visualization of Rishika Anasya. And the japa is Om Nithyananda. Om Nithyanandoham, rotating in the throat center. So let's all take a deep inhalation through the mouth and Sakala Krama. Hold your breath for a moment, and then exhale together, all together right now, out of your mouth, and then exhale as much as you can, and then seal the breath. Don't inhale yet. Close the perineal floor, and then suck your stomach in and up as best you can. So first pulling the stomach in and then lifting it up without any air in you. Try and hold your breath as long as you can, and then when you need to break, inhale through Sakala Krama again. Okay? So go through that cycle a few times where you're inhaling and exhaling through the mouth, sucking the stomach in and up. Be intense while you're there. Remind yourself to relax your shoulders down. Okay, the tension starts to build up in the shoulders as you hold there. Relax comfortably and maintain the gaze at the tip of your nose. Okay, so no matter what your physical posture is right now, whether you're able to get your knees right on top of one another or not, focus on performing this pranayama and then holding the kumbhaka, exhaling, and then sucking the stomach in and out. Okay? So either way, whatever your physical posture is, we can all hold the breath still, and we can all engage Uddiyana Bandha intensely. Okay? So one last time, let's all take a deep inhalation together through the mouth. Hold the breath for a moment, and then exhale. Empty out your lungs completely. Don't inhale yet. Suck your stomach in and up as intensely as you can. Hold it, and let's see if we can hold as long as the Tantradark is chanting in Anasyasana, visualizing the Rishika Anasya in your inner space as you gaze towards the tip of your nose.
दक्षिण गोड़ो नीचो थाने वामों थाके ऊपर आने गोड़ा समधि मिलावे भारी आधा पद पूनी दे समधि वसारी.
Nicely done. Great job. Breathing naturally here, allowing yourself to catch your breath. If you're able to hold your breath a little bit longer or are noticing a difference in this asana than in times previous just because of engaging that kumbhaka properly, nicely done. That is the power of the breath. That is the power of breath retention. And as the mind as the breath starts to calm down, we're going to move into Anasyasana 2. So you're going to start leaning your chest forward and down. So the chin goes beyond that raised knee. If you're able to bring the crown of your head or the forehead rather down all the way onto the ground, that's what we're going for. Nicely done if you're able to do that. But either way, lean the forehead down, bring the chest down onto that raised knee, and release the hands from your feet and interlace the fingers behind the back. Okay. Holding on to the same visualization of Rishika Anasya, and the gaze is at the tip of the nose still. We are just keeping Mula Bandha engaged so you can breathe naturally. Naturally, you're still with that kumbhaka though, so you're inhaling in Shikari Kumaka, holding the breath, sealing the perineal floor, though you should really be able to notice the difference between a Mula Bandha engaged here versus not engaged. So seal that perineal floor. Allow the prana to continue flowing through within you as you lean the chest further and further down as best you can. Mahasadashi rotating in the throat center. This is a Nasyasana 2.
चीमना गोडा की समदे उपरिधावा गोडा की समदे मिलारा से गोड्या सोले पगथल्यालो आडवा शुदारा से.
Good. Inhale, rising up. And you can release that top foot. This time bringing the sole of the right foot flat onto the ground. If you want to, we can take a moment and extend both legs out in front and give yourselves a little bit of a shake. Good. Okay, this time bring the left heel close to the perineum though. The right foot is going to be flat onto the ground with the knee raised. Okay? Our right hand is going to be on the respective knee, left hand on the left knee. Same as before, the tendency is we start to arch our spine, trying to elongate it as best you can, opening up your chest as you do so. Okay, keeping the gaze at the tip of the nose, Mula Bandha engaged. Bring Bhagavan Garuda into your inner space. And just hold this posture, this physical alignment. And feel empowered while you're here. It's this very posture of opening up the chest. Should make that happen. And visualize wings spreading out from either side of you. We're still engaging Shikari Kumaka. The tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth, inhaling. Hold the breath as long as you can comfortably, but challenge yourself. Allow yourself to feel that heat, that intensity rise within you as you hold the Kumbhaka. With Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center, this is Garudasana 2.
तावो भगमोडीयेणि माहिल्यं गुल्फमूलद्वारिणि छेदे देसी जीमनि भगतली धरती तेकी गोड़ो ऊंचो उभौरासे.
Good. Nicely done. You can release the hands, let them relax a little bit. From here, you're going to just rise up ever so slightly onto that bent foot, the heel. Okay? So you rise up your sitting bone onto the left heel. So naturally, you should have Mula Bandha engaged without even having to engage, just because that top heel is placed properly. With the right knee raised, place your right hand behind you so you can twist your upper body towards the right, and the left elbow comes outside of that raised right knee. Okay? See if you can slowly release that right hand and bring it off to the ground, and then interlace the fingers behind the neck, keeping the elbows together. And see if you can twist your upper body a little bit more, and as your head twists along with it, bring the gaze up to the third eye. As you're here, you're visualizing Sage Narada in your inner space, trying to continue breathing in Shikari Kumaka, That tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. Hold your breath here. Should be a little bit more challenging to hold your breath and to breathe in this manner, but try and find that comfortable breathing pattern that is also challenging you in the same light. And keep Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center. This is Naradasana.
पिष्टिजु वामा भगतली केरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी घोड़ा शुदो नौ हो जे खोई जोई दशिकवा सिद्धि व्रासे सोई.
Nicely done. And unwinding, bringing the sitting bones back down onto the mat. Release that heel from underneath you. You can slightly extend that right foot so you can release your left foot and bring it on top of the right thigh. Okay. With the left foot on top of the right thigh, you're going to reach your right hand outside of the raised knee and see if you're going to hold on to your big toe in prana mudra, index, middle finger wrapped around the big toe. Okay, if that's too much for you, you can keep the hand up on the shin and try to just maybe interlace your fingers or wrap the left arm over top. If you can't hold on to the big toes, that's fine. But make sure you're doing your best to keep that heel on top of the thigh. Maybe that means for you lean back onto your hands and your foot just rests on your thigh like so. Okay? But the goal is to reach for the big toe with the index and middle finger, and then wrapping the left arm around and holding onto the shin in front of you. Okay? Matsya Pitakasana, continue your gaze toward the tip of the nose. Shivkari Kumbhaka still with that tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. Visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Vishnu, in your inner space here. As you continue to hold the Kumbhaka as comfortably and as long as you can in Matsya Pitakasana.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तु गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकं योनिवामेन सम्पीड्य मेधरादुपरिदक्षिणम्.
Good. And release that foot. And we're just going to readjust that top foot now and slide the knee a little bit to the right. So we're going to adjust ourselves into Gomukhasana on the other side. We previously had the right knee on top. Now we should just have a beautiful transition to the left knee on top of the right. Same as before, if your sitting bone is off the ground, your left hip is off the ground, try your best to bring it so both sides are on the ground. That may mean for you that your heel is off or a little bit further away from your hip, which is fine. If you need to have a cushion, place it underneath you. That's fine as well. But either way, try and keep your knees stacked right on top of one another as best you can. Okay? From this position with the hands placed on top of your raised knee, elongate your spine. So open the chest out. And the tendency right away is the shoulders start to raise up. Try and allow them to relax down. From this powerful position with the chest opened up, bring the gaze to the tip of the nose. And again, we're moving through this cycle in Shikari Kumbhaka. So inhaling with the tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. Deeply, hold the breath. Seal the perineal floor. Mula Bandha is engaged. Visualizing the face of a cow in your inner space. Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center. Gomukhasana.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्पं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत् दक्षिणेऽपि तथा सव्यं गोमुखं यथा.
Good. And releasing the breath when you're comfortable and ready to continue that cycle of inhaling through the Shikari Kumbhaka with the tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. This time we're releasing our hands, interlacing the fingers around the big toes, so the index, middle finger around the big toes. The natural tendency is the shoulders come up. Try and relax them down. Okay, and as you find that you relax the shoulders down, the chest starts to open up a little bit more. Be able to elongate that spine, sit with a little bit more power. Okay, continue that inhalation, sucking through the mouth with the tongue pressed up against the roof. Feel the perineal floor after that inhalation. Keep Mula Bandha engaged here throughout as you gaze down towards the tip of your nose. On the exhalation, release all of the air. Let all of that oxygen out. Hold the breath though. With the complete exhalation done, suck the stomach in and then pull it up as best you can. Hold that position. Hold the kumbhaka. And again, relax those shoulders down, visualizing Rishika Anasya in your inner space. And when you need to inhale, feel free to do so again in Shikari Kumbhaka, but try and exhale again and suck the stomach in and up. You should feel good sweat, you should feel a lot of heat rising within you just strictly from this Kumbhaka alone in this posture. This is Anasyasana.
घोड़ो नीचो ठाने बामों थाके ऊपर आने घोड़ा संधि मलावे भारी आधा पदी पूजे दे संधि बसारी.
Nicely done. Releasing the hands, interlace the fingers behind you and lean forward and down. Bring the chest down over top of that raised knee. Goal here is to try and get that forehead all the way down towards the ground, bringing the chin beyond the raised knee. If you're not able to do that, that's fine. If you have, if you're starting to feel this in your hips or maybe your lower back, either way, meet yourself with wherever you're at today and try and drive that chest a little bit further and further down. And with the fingers interlaced behind you, maintaining Sheathkari Kumbhaka, inhaling through the mouth with the tongue pressed up against the roof. Hold the Kumbhaka, just keep Mula Bandha engaged, but challenge yourself to maintain that retention for as long as you can. And holding the visualization, Rishika Nasya in the inner space, with Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center. This is Anasyasana 2.
जीवना घोड़ा संधि उपरि दावा घोड़ा ई संधि मिलय रासे गद्यासोले भगतल्यालो आडवासिका रासे.
Good. Inhaling. Rising up. Release that top foot so the left foot comes flat onto the ground. The knee stays up and slightly adjusting the right heel so it stays at the perineum. So the heel is close to the groin. Hands are on respective knees. Left hand on left knee, right hand on right. Same as before. Open up that chest. Puff it up forwards, allowing yourself to feel a little bit more strong, a little bit more powerful in this position. Okay? With the gaze towards the tip of your nose still, we're embodying, visualizing, performing samyama on Bhagavan Garuda. See yourself as could be a powerful eagle, Vahana Vishnu, eagle wings spreading out beyond your back, Maintaining the gaze at the tip of the nose. Take a deep inhalation, Sakala Krama, and hold the breath. Garudasana 2.
दावोपगमूढी माहिल्यों गुल्पमूलद्वारणी छेदे बेसीजी मणि भगतिली धरती देखी गोड़ो ऊंचो उभोरा से.
Releasing the breath. Nicely done. From here, you can just release that right foot and see if you can bring the right heel on top of that raised left knee. If this is the max of your hip mobility, you can keep your hands bent or hands placed behind you and just lean back onto your hands. So if you have a little bit of hip mobility issues, nothing wrong with just being in this position itself. Okay? If you're able to walk your chest a little bit closer towards that raised knee, then let's do so. You could begin by wrapping the right arm around the raised knee, or you can first start by bringing the left arm around that raised knee and see if you can reach and hold on to the big toe. I'm explaining the wrong asana. Okay, never mind. We're going back to Naradasana first. My apologies. Right heel stays at the perineum. You're going to sit on top of that raised right heel. Why don't you say something? Okay, you're sitting on top of that raised right heel. Left knee is off of the ground, straight up. Yeah, I'm blaming you for this, okay? Right elbow comes outside of that raised left knee, and the hands are interlaced behind the neck. Gaze up toward your third eye, maintaining Sakala Krama, so tongue is pressed up against the roof of the mouth, and inhale. Hold the breath though. Keeping this Kumaka, visualize stage none of that in your inner space. Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center.
विष्टिचुवामा भगतली केरी भूपरिता के लगावे फेरी.
Good. Now releasing. Coming back down to a sitting posture. This time we're going to bring our right foot on top of our left thigh. With the left arm reaching around that raised left knee and the right hand holding onto the shin. Okay. You're able to get the left hand all the way down to the big toe. Hold on to the big toe with index and middle finger and prana mudra. Or you can release and just keep the hand holding on to the shin. Whatever works best for you. Okay. Try and keep the chest, again, pulled towards the knees. So avoid arching the back as best you can. Engaging Sakala Krama, tongue is pressed up against the roof of the mouth. Deep inhalations, holding the breath. Sealing the perineal floor. And Mula Bandha. Visualizing Matsya, the fish avatar of Vishnu, as you gaze towards the tip of your nose in Matsya Pitakasana.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तु गृहीतं मत्स्यपीठकं योनिवामेन सम्पीड्य मेत्रादुपरि दक्षिणम्.
Good, and releasing. Nicely done. Great job. Before we move into Matsyendrasana, which is the next posture, I just want to flow through this cycle of asanas that we just did. But this time we're going to focus on following the breath within these different asanas. And so what I mean by that is, rather than focusing on having a perfect posture, let's focus on having a good, authentic pranayama breathing pattern, which is including the kumaka, so holding the breath. Okay, so let's all start in Gomukhasana with our left knee bent, bringing the left heel outside of the right, and stack the right foot over top. Okay. So again, we're going to move through that same sequence of asanas that we just did. Don't worry, no needing to wait for the Tantradar to chant or anything. Just follow the breathing pattern as best you can. Okay. I'll do the best I can to provide the instructions. If you're not getting the alignment or you forget something, don't worry about that. Let's just focus on incorporating this pranayama, the kumbhakas, as best you can. Okay. So first, from this position, deep inhalation, tongue pressed up against the roof of the mouth. Hold your breath. Seal the perineal floor. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Keep holding your breath. If there's one cue that you follow, allow it to be the breathing pattern. So if I'm saying hold your breath, try your best to hold your breath. Good. Exhale. Inhale through the Shikari Kumbhaka again. Exhale. Lean your chest forward and down as your hands come into Prana Mudra, holding on to, interlacing the fingers behind your hand. Holding your breath with the breath exhaled. Inhale as you rise up. Hold your breath. Uncross that top foot and bring it into Garudasana with the breath held. Chest is nice and broad, spine is elongated. Exhale. Rise up. Bring your sitting bone onto that raised heel. Keep the breath exhaled. And then inhale, interlacing the fingers behind. Twist and hold. Try and avoid breathing. Gaze up to the third eye. Exhale. Coming down, sitting bones down onto the ground. Inhale. As you adjust that left foot, coming onto the thigh and holding onto the big toe. Wrapping the other hand around, holding onto the shin. Holding the breath here, still after that inhalation. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Mulabandha is engaged. Exhale. Nicely done. Inhale again, Shikari Kumbhaka. Wrap that top knee over top. Hold the breath. Avoid inhalations, exhalations. Hands on top of that raised knee. If you need to inhale and exhale again, feel free to do so, but try and hold the breath still. Exhale. Nicely done. Holding on to the big toes. Take another deep inhalation. This time exhale right away. Let the shoulders sink down. Hold your breath, suck the stomach in and up. Inhale, nicely done. This time on the exhale, lean the chest forward and down. Release the hands, bring them interlace behind you, and hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Uncross that foot. Left foot is flat on the ground. Right heel is at the perineum. Hands on the respective knees. Hold the breath after that inhalation. Chest is tall, open. Spine is long. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Holding the breath. Mulabandha engaged. Gaze to the tip of the nose. You're powerful. Envision those wings spreading beyond you. Bhagavan Garuda. Exhale. Nicely done. Inhale, rising up onto that heel. Didn't forget this one. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the neck as the right elbow comes outside that raised knee. Hold the breath, twisting, gaze up towards the third eye. Visualize sage Narada in your inner space. And release. Come down to a comfortable seated position. Last one. Place the right foot on top of the left thigh this time. Inhale. Hold your breath. Wrap the arm right around. Right hand holding onto the left shin. Left hand holds onto the left big toe. If you can't hold this posture, don't worry. Do the best you can, but hold the breath. Gaze to the tip of the nose for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Nicely done. Great job. So hopefully you had a little bit of a different experience as you went through that cycle, just from following your a different breathing pattern where you're engaging the kumbhaka, holding the breath. The retention is really powerful, and that's an experience I just really wanted to try and get everybody to have. It seems like it's a component that we tend to forget about a lot because we're so focused on asana when we think of yoga. But as Swamiji has revealed beautifully to the entire world, that there are 12 components with every authentic yoga practice. And one of the most powerful components, but is often overlooked, is that not just pranayama, it's kumbhaka. So it's Shikari kumbhaka, that breath retention, which is quite empowering. So no matter what posture you're performing, whether your alignment is amazing or not, you can have a powerful experience just from performing the inhalation, exhalation, along with the movement, and then holding the breath as you do so. Okay. Next, we're going to move into Matsyendrasana. So with this seated posture, you could either begin with the foot coming up on top of the opposite thigh. So let's all go on the same, we'll move on the same side. So begin with the left foot on top of your right thigh. Okay. If you have the hip mobility where you're able to keep that knee bent and you're able to twist around, placing the right hand behind you and the left elbow comes outside of that raised knee, and you're able to keep that knee down and you're able to twist outside comfortably, then that's the posture that you're going for. If that's too intense for you, if you have hip issues, if it starts to torque on your knee, then what you're going to do is just going to keep your left heel close to the perineum and place the left elbow outside the raised knee in that way. Okay? So take care of your knee, take care of your hip, whatever position is best for you. Make sure that you are listening to your body. But in this first posture, the right hand is placed behind you, left elbow is outside of the raised right knee, the hand up to the side of the head. You're going to gaze up towards your third eye as you twist your spine and your head turns around towards the back of the room. Okay. These next few postures within the sequence become even more challenging to engage Shikari Kumbhaka and hold the breath. We're twisting and reducing the lung capacity as we're in this posture. So challenge yourself still to follow a proper breathing pattern, inhaling through Shikari Kumbhaka and hold the breath as long as you can comfortably, but allow that intensity and that heat to raise within you. Okay. On the exhalations, you'll notice that you may be able to twist a little bit deeper as you gaze further and further back. Okay. Again, gazes towards the third eye. Visualize Matsyendranath. Many believe the founder of Hatha Yoga. In your inner space, Mulabandha engaged, and Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः नम्राङ्गं वामपादं हि दक्षजानुपरिण्यसेत्.
From the same posture, just extend your left hand so it comes down towards the right foot. If you're able to hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra, nicely done. If not, just hold on to your shin. Okay? And then you're going to try and release your right hand and bring the right hand to the right ear. Okay, so from this seated posture, again, your left heel, if you don't have that mobility and it's not on top of the thigh, the left heel comes to the perineum. The right foot is flat on the ground. You can start by holding on to the raised knee with your left hand and twist so your right hand is placed on the ground behind you. Maybe this is where the posture ends for you, which is completely fine. Even right away here, I tend to notice my hip raises up off the ground, my sitting bones. Ideally, both sides of your sitting bones, both hips are parallel to the ground. With that right hand planted on the ground behind you, you're bringing your left elbow outside that raised knee and then extending the hand down towards the foot. The right hand comes up to the ear in Kubasana. We've been here a long time. It's a challenging posture. Bring the gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as a camel and hold.
Asana ko guna jholo chaye.
Good. Nicely done holding there, guys. Right hand comes down to the ground. Keep both hands extended now. Okay? Whatever you want to do to allow yourself to twist a little bit more. So if my left hand comes to my knee that's bent, that allows me to twist a little bit more. You can do so. If you don't have the mobility to reach and hold on to that toe in Prana Mudra, nothing wrong. Listen to your body, but also give yourself that space to increase that twist. Gazing back beyond the shoulders towards the back of the room and continuing to breathe Sakala Krama. Hold your breath as best you can as you continue to gaze up to your third eye, visualizing Sage Matsyendranath in your inner space. Matsyendrasana.
Matsyendrapidam jadara pradiptim Bhajandaruk mandala khandalastram Abhyasadak kundarini prabodam Dandasthiratvam hidadadi pumsam.
Nicely done, releasing. And we'll move on to the other side. Same sequence as we just performed. So again, you could begin by bringing the right foot on top of the left thigh and the left foot is down. If you have that mobility in your hip to bring the right knee down, you could just show me again. If you have that mobility to bring the right knee all the way down, that's great. That's what you're going for with the right foot on top of the other thigh. If you don't have that mobility, if you have a hip issue, a knee issue, take care of yourself. Keep the right heel close to the groin. Okay? Just as in Sukhasana or Siddhasana, rather. Either way, keep that left foot flat onto the ground, left knee raised. With the left hand now planted behind you, twist towards the left, bringing the right elbow outside that raised left knee. And let the right hand just gently rest at the side of the head, holding onto the ear. Okay? Trying to avoid hunching the back, that spine elongated. And continue to turn and twist as you bring your gaze over the back shoulder and then up towards the third eye. With Mulabandha engaged, inhaling through the mouth, tongue pressed up against the roof, Sakala Krama, and hold the breath as long as you can comfortably. When you need to exhale, feel free to do so, but inhale again through that same pranayama. Om Nithyananda Om, rotating in the throat center. Matsyendrasana.
Udaram paschimabhyasam krutva tishtati yatnatah namrangam vamapadam hi dakshajanu parinyaset.
Good. Next, we're just extending our right hand down from here. And ideally, if you're able to hold on to your big toe, that's great. If you're not able to, that's fine. You could just keep that elbow pressed up against that raised knee. And even hold on to the other foot if you'd like to as well. Either way, bring that left hand up to the left ear as best you can and continue fighting to open up that chest towards the back of the room, twisting, gazing up to the third eye still. Visualize yourself as a camel, Kubasana.
Asana ko gana jholo chaye.
Nicely done. Release the left hand, bring it down to the ground. Twist even more. So both hands are extended straight. And again, challenging yourself to follow that pranayama, inhaling through the mouth with the tongue pressed up against the roof, holding the breath as long as you can comfortably as you gaze beyond the back shoulder and up towards your third eye, visualizing Sage Machendranath in your inner space. Om Nithyananda Om Nithyanandoham rotating in throat center. And Matsindrasana 2.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जतरप्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्डरुग्मण्डलकुण्डलास्त्रम् अभ्यासदकुण्डलिनी प्रबोधं दण्डस्थिरत्वं हिददाति पुंसाम्.
Nicely done. Releasing back around, coming to a neutral spine position. Great job so far today, team. Let's all move into Padmasana. Final two postures of the day, then we'll have a nice Shavasana, but let's take advantage of these hip openers we've just gone through right away. What was that I just saw? Okay, let's all move into Padmasana just in the same exact way as you demonstrated here, Miraj. What'd you do? Okay, if you're able to do that, then you are a true yogi, as Swamiji says. If you're not able to do that, I'm sorry, you are not a yogi. Nicely done, Miraj. Okay, so I think I know who our next teacher is tomorrow then. Okay. All right, either way, if you're able to get into Padmasana, do so. If you're not, then you can sit in Ardha Padmasana, one foot on top of the opposite thigh, other foot down. Maybe you're able to get in Padmasana with a cushion underneath you. Whatever works for you right now. Make sure you're never torquing on your knee. You shouldn't feel any pain in your knees. It should be a comfortable, stable, powerful posture, okay? But bring our hands on top of the respective knees. Let's follow the same integrity to the breathing pattern, okay? We are rotating to Shitali Kumbhaka. And again, there's a few different variations of this, but in this version, the tongue is pressed up against the back of the teeth. As you deeply inhale, hold your breath, seal the perineal floor, tuck the chin to your chest in Jalandhara Bandha, and then suck the stomach in and up, holding here. And so we're holding the breath after the inhalation. Visualize Bhagavan, Lord Shiva, in your inner space as you gaze towards the tip of your nose. We're moving to Om Nithyananda Mahasadashivoham, rotating in the throat center. Hold your breath as long as you can comfortably. And then release. This is Padmasana, okay? So this time, let's engage the three bandhas after the exhalation. Okay, so allow the breath to come back to a natural pattern. And then let's all inhale together with tongue pressed up against the back of the teeth. Hold the breath for a moment. Exhale to mouth. Seal the perineal floor. Seal the breath. No more inhalation. Tuck the chin to the chest. Suck the stomach in and up. With the hands pressed up against the knees, relax your shoulders down. Intensify this kumbhaka even more by tightening Uddiyana Bandha, engaging it even more intensely, sucking the stomach in and up, pulling it up higher and higher. Visualize Padma Shiva in your inner space as you gaze to the tip of your nose. See how long you can hold this kumbhaka for properly. When you need to exhale and inhale again, feel free to do so, but let's go through 3 cycles of this. Challenging yourself to hold the breath in this intense kumbhaka. And again, when you need to inhale, feel free to do so. Just inhale with the tongue pressed up against the back of the teeth. And you can release the Jalandhara Bandha to make that inhalation. But then again, exhale. Release all of the air out of you. Seal the perineal floor. Tuck the chin back down. And suck the stomach in and up.
आसनं द्विविधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा ऊर्ध्वरूपरिच्छेदत्ते उभयपादतले यथा.
Good. Nicely done. Moving into Padmasana, our final asana of the day. We're just going to cross our hands in front of us, holding on to the opposite big toes in Prana Mudra, so the index and middle fingers holding on to the opposite toes. Keep the gaze to the tip of the nose. We are releasing Jalandhara and Uddiyana Bandha, just keeping Mula Bandha engaged, so sealing the perennial floor. Find comfort in this posture, breathing in the same pattern, Shitali Kumbhaka. Tongue is pressed up against the back of the teeth. Visualize yourself as the goddess Parvati, the consort of Paramashiva now. In Padmasana 2.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा ऊरुसंस्थौ प्रयत्नतः ऊरुमध्ये तथात्थानौ पाणि कृत्वा तु तादृशौ.
Releasing the breath. Nicely done. Uncrossing the feet. Great job today, everybody. Give yourselves a little bit of a shake out with the legs extended beyond. And then when you're ready, you can slowly rock back, lean back onto your spine. And with the back of the head rested on the ground, palms opened up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhalation through your nose and a nice long exhalation out of your mouth. We're going to relax into Shavasana. I learned the other day that some people were shocked that I even talked during Shavasana. Oh, you're talking? I didn't know you were instructing even. So I'll learn my lesson and keep this nice and short for you. But ultimately, the idea is to scan your body for any tension that you feel. And if you find tension, exhale and unclutch that specific area. So you should be relaxing your entire body, unclutching deeper and deeper, allowing yourself to sink more and more into the mat the longer that you're held here. Okay? Trying to avoid any of those movements, those micro movements, the shaking, the itching. If you need to make any final adjustments, do so. Let's all take one final deep inhalation in Shavasana through the nose. Nice long exhalation out of your mouth. And unclutch deeper and deeper into Shavasana.
Tanam Savavadbhumo Dayanam Dushavasana Shavasanam Shantiharam Chittavishranti
You can slowly start to come back into the body. You can do so with a deep inhalation first through your nose, filling up your lungs completely. Then take a nice long exhalation out of your mouth. You can begin by wiggling your fingertips and your toes. Maybe squeezing your hands a little bit and gently rotating your wrists and your ankles. Then you can bend your elbows and your knees. And the feet flat onto the ground. Taking care of that lower spine. You can raise the knees up and pull them towards your chest. And squeezing the knees in towards the chest, you can maybe interlace your fingers and lift your head up off the ground. Bring the forehead towards the knees, gently squeezing. You can rock side to side. Then release and come to a comfortable seated position. You can keep your eyes closed if they were. Open them if you'd like. Either way, in a comfortable cross-seated position, bring your hands into Anjali Mudra in front of the heart center, spine elongated. Bring Swamiji into your inner space with a deep sense of gratitude towards the Master. So I'll take a deep inhalation together and we'll close with the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu Om Nithyanandam.
Nithyananda, everybody. Nicely done. Thank you so much for tuning in for this Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Brahma Muhurta Yoga session. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Today's exploration of these various different seated postures, hip openers, some intense twists. We obviously spent a bit of time focusing on our kumbhakas and pranayama sequence, so hopefully you had a bit of a breakthrough with that today as well, and you had some maybe new clicks. As always, we are going to be transitioning to the next part of our sequence, which is the morning puja. So whether you're here with us via Zoom live or watching us on YouTube, feel free to join us along with this next part of the morning routine. And either way, we look forward to having you back on the yoga mat tomorrow at the same Brahma Muhurta hour, 4 a.m. here in Kailasas all over the world, in particular for those in the East Coast, which is our group. So thank you all so much and looking forward to seeing you again. Take care. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda. We will now begin the Nitya Puja. Please be in a deep space of gratitude. We'll begin the Guru Puja and the Paramashiva Puja today. We'll first make the declarations to help give us the correct context before we enter into the rituals. If you agree to the following statements with integrity and authenticity, please say yes loudly. I authentically cognize, which is internally processed, understand and declare the truth that cosmic energy exists. Yes. I authentically cognize, which is internally processed, understand and declare the truth that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Parameswaram, Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, the Guru Paduka and the Atma Linga are the Chinmaya Vigrahas, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. Yes. I authentically cognize, which is internally processed, understand and declare the truth that whatever I offer in the Pratyakshapada Puja and the Paramashiva Puja to Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti, the Guru Paduka and the Atma Linga will reach the cosmic source of energy directly. Yes. I authentically cognize, which is internally processed, understand and declare the truth of Sohamasmi, that even when I worship, I am Him. Yes. Now we'll begin the Guru Puja. Please sit with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. We'll begin with the Sadguru Vandanam, where we invoke the presence and offer our gratitude to Swamiji. Please take some flowers in your hands. Offer the flowers at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatidam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamacharam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavajitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. The next is the Guru Parampara Vandanam, paying our respects to the lineage of the Guru Parampara, which has Nithyanandeshwara in the beginning, Nithyanandeshwari in the middle, and our beloved Bhagavan, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Parameswaram. Please take some flowers and offer them at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Nithyananda Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Next, we'll chant the Arunagiri Yogeshwara Vandanam, worshipping Arunagiri Yogeshwara, Paramashiva himself, who happened in the life of our beloved Guru. Please take some flowers in your hands and offer them at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Larate Tripundre Nitilakrita Kasturi Tilakaha Spuranmala Dharaspurita Gopi Navasanaha Radhano Dushtaram Chiradimanirajam Sushikaram Pradeepas Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate. We'll now perform Tattvachmanam. Take an udrini of water and place the water in your right palm and drink 3 sips of water as we chant the following 3 mantras. Om Atma Tattvam Shodhayami Sudha. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Sudha. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Sudha. Rinse your right hand, and with the base of your right hand thumb, wipe your lips from right to left. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Rinse your right hand again. With the index, middle, and ring finger of the right hand touch above your upper lip and below your lower lip. With the index finger and thumb of the right hand joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb of the right hand joined together, touch your right eye, right ear, and left ear. Rinse your right hand again. Then, with the little finger and thumb of the right hand joined together, touch the navel, right chest, left chest, and with all the tips of your fingers, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the center of your chest. Rinse your hand once last time. Now, we'll invoke the presence of Bhagavan Mahaganapati. Please take some akshata in your hands and pray to Mahaganapati for the success of this ritual today and for all of our sankalpa to manifest. Keep your hands in the Mushti Mudra, tap the sides of your forehead 5 times as we chant the following mantra. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantayet. Now we'll be performing the pranayama, the distribution of the prana. Inhale, closing your right nostril with your thumb, inhale through your left nostril. Hold both your nostrils closed with your ring finger and thumb. Closing your left nostril with your ring finger, exhale through the right nostril. As you do these 3 steps of pranayama, chant internally the Samhita mantras. Please begin. Om Hum Ishana Murdaya Namaha, Om Him Tatpurush Bhaktiraya Namaha, Om Hum Garadaya Namaha, Om Him Vamadevakya Namaha, Om Hum Sajjvat Murte Namaha, Mam Mridaya Namaha, Om Him Shirse Namaha, Om Hum Shikara Namaha, Om Him Kapcha Namaha, Om Hum Nitribhya Namaha, Om Astraya Namaha, Om Hum Ishana Murdaya Namaha, Om Him Tatpurush Bhaktiraya Namaha, Om Hum Garadaya Namaha, Om Him Vamadevakya Namaha, Om Him Sajjvat Murte Namaha, Mam Mridaya Namaha, Om Him Shirse Namaha, Om Hum Shikara Namaha, Om Him Kapcha Namaha, Om Hum Nitribhya Namaha, Om Astraya Namaha. Om Hum Ishana Murdaya Namaha, Om Him Tatpurush Bhaktiraya Namaha, Om Hum Garadaya Namaha, Om Him Vamadevakya Namaha, Om Hum Sajjvat Murte Namaha, Mam Mridaya Namaha, Om Him Shirse Namaha, Om Hum Shikara Namaha, Om Him Kapcha Namaha, Om Hum Nitribhya Namaha, Om Astraya Namaha. Now, clasp your right hand in your left hand. Keep both your hands on your right thigh. Create the visualization of manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva and all the auspicious blessings of our beloved Bhagavan. We'll chant the Sankalpa mantra. ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षय द्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परम शिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिव प्रीत्यर्थम च शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते आद्य ब्राह्मणः द्वितीय परार्धे श्री श्वेतवराह कल्पे वैवस्वत मन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे नित्ययुगे प्रथमे पादे जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भरतखण्डे मेरोः दक्षिणे पार्श्वे शकाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादीनां षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये विश्वावसु नाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने लक्ष्मी वेंकटेश्वर ऋतौ तुलामासे शुक्लपक्षे दशम्यां शुभतिथौ शुक्रवासरयुक्तायां धनिष्ठा नक्षत्र वृद्धियोग तैतिलकर्ण एवं गुणविशेषण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ श्री कैलासोन्नत द्वादशांत श्यामला पीठारूढ़ श्री मीनाक्षी सुंदरेश्वराभिन्न स्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्य तुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्तृ श्रीमद् परम शिव करुणा समनिगत मुक्तामय चतुर श्रेयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्री चिन्ह काहलादि समस्त बिरडावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संग सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्याप वर्ग वर्ष विश्रान जीमूत परमत कलव केसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु शपन शाख्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणा नरारद्वदोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ नवद्युत्तर द्विशतम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशतम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनुक्ष्वाक हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि नवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्माण पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ नवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोंच गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत हरिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमद् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सचिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं क्षेमस्थैर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं समस्त मंगलावाप्यर्थं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थं श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परम शिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिव अवतार भूत श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवन् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रत्यक्षपाद पूजां करिष्ये। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव पूजां च करिष्ये। होमभूपस्पृश्य rinse your right hand with an uddhani of water. Now we'll perform the Gantanada. We'll now ring the bell loudly with our left hand above our heart level. Ring. Om Adadantu Devanam Gavanadantu Raksasam Gantanadam Karom Yadava Devata Vanalanjanam Ganda Devata Vyo Namaha. Next is the Manasa Puja, the internal worship. Please take a flower in your hands and hold your hands in the Kurma Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and surrender to him every part of your being. Be in the space of the ultimate oneness with Swamiji as we offer the Manasa Puja. Om Hridpadmamasanam Dadyat Sahasrarachyutam Hridaihi Padyam Jalayo Dadyat Manasvargyam Nivedaye Tenamritena Achamaniyam Snaniyam Tena Chasmridam Akashadatvam Vastram Syat Gandhasyat Gandhadatvakam Chittam Prakalpayet Pushpam Dhupam Pranan Prakalpayet Tejastatvam Chadipatam Naivedyam Syat Sudam Buddhihi Anadadvanirkanta Vayudatvam Chachamaram Sahasraram Bhavet Satram Shabdadatvam Chagidhagam Mrityamindriya Karmani Chanchalyam Manasastha Sumekalam Padmamalam Pushpam Nanavidam Dada Amayadir Bhava Pushpaihi Archayet Bhava Gocharam Amayam Manakankaram Aragam Mamadam Dada Amohagam Madam Bancha Adveshakshovago Dada Amacharyam Malobam Cha Rajapushpam Vidurbudaha Ahimsaram Pushpam Pushpam Indriya Nigraha Daya Pushpam Kshama Pushpam Jnana Pushpam Cha Panchamam Iti Panchanashet Bhava Pushpaihi Sambhujayet Bhagavantam Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. We'll now begin the Upachara Puja, the external worship. The first is the offering of asanam, the offering of the seat, the asana. Please take some akshata in your hands and offer them at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Asanam Om Sarvabhutantarastaya Sarvabhutantaratmane Kalpayamyupaveshartam Asanam Te Namo Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Suvarnasanam Sarvadevadevi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next is the offering of Swagatam, welcoming the Master. Now take some flowers in your hands and welcome Swamiji with all of your heartfelt devotion and love. Offer the flowers at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Swagatam Om Shantatvat Sarvagatritva Bhavat Paradikaranat Shivokto Mahatantra Mantra Vidbhis Sada Shiva Tasmai Shivaya Gurave Vitaraga Kalayave Ameyatvat Anantoyam Machatvat Chabragirtitaha Yasya Darshanam Ichanti Devas Svabhishta Siddhaye Tasmai Te Parameshana Swagatam Swagatam Prabho Adya Me Sapalam Janma Jivanam Sapala Kriyaha Swagatam Yatvaya Tanme Tapasam Palamagatam. Om Hrim
सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवन् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं ते. The next is the offering of Padyam, the offering of water to wash the feet of Swamiji. Please take an udharani of water and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Padyam Om Yad Bhaktilesha Samparkat Paramananda Samplava Tasmai De Parameshana Padyam Shuddhaya Kalpaye. Om Hrim Edat Padyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next is the offering of Arghya, the offering of the traditional bouquet, the selection of the most beautiful flowers and kept in a beautiful conch that has a water, rice pellet, some sandalwood paste, a dhruva grass and a bilva leaf. Now please take the Arghya in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Arghyaha Om Durvakshita Samayuktam Bilva Patram Dadaparam Shobhanam Shankapatrastam Grahanargyam Maheshwara. Om Hrim Esho Arghyaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Swaha. The next is the Achamaniyam, the offering of water for rinsing the hands and the mouth. Now, please take the udharani of water and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Achamaniyam Om Mandaginyastu Yadvari Sarva Paparam Shubham Grahanachamaniyam Tvam Maya Bhaktya Niveditam. Om Hrim Idam Achamaniyorakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Svadha. The next is the offering of Madhubarka, the offering of the nectarine drink. Please take the Madhubarka in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Madhubarkaha Om Sarvakarmashanashaya Paripurna Sudhatmakam Madhubarkamimam Deva Kalpayami Prasidhame. Om Hrim Esha Madhubarkaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Svadha. The next is the offering of Gandhatailam, the offering of the scented oil. Now please take the Gandhatailam in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Gandhatailam Om Sneham Grahana Snehena Lokana Mitakaraka Sarvalokeshu Shuddhastvam Dadami Snehamuttamam. Om Hrim Idam Gandhatailam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Nivedayami. The next is the offering of Snaniyam, the offering of the sacred bath. Now, please take the water and offer the Snaniyam to Swamiji's Padukas along with the mantra. Please ring the bell as you do so. Snaniyam Om Idam Shishitalam Vari Swacham Shuddham Manoharam Sthanartham Te Maya Bhaktya Kalpitam Pedigriyadam. Om Hrim Idam Snaniyodakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Nivedayami. The next is the offering of Vastram, the offering of clothing. Now, please take the Vastram in your hands and hover a flower around it and offer the Vastram at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Vastram Om Maya Chitrapata Channa Nijagugyodejase Niravarana Vinyaya Vasaste Kalpayamyaham Om Hrim Idam Vastrottariyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Nivedayami. The next is the offering of Abharanam, the offering of jewelry. Now please take the Abharanam in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Abharanam Om Swabhava Sundarangaya Nana Shaktyashrayayate Suvarnam Bhushanam Tubhyam Kalpayami Prasidame Om Hrim Idam Suvarnabharanam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Vedayami. The next is the offering of Khanda, the offering of sandalwood paste. Please take the sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Gandaha Om Shariram Tena Janami Chertam Naivacha Naivacha Maya Nivedithan Gandhan Pradigriya Vilipyatam Om Hrim Esha Gandha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next is the offering of flowers, the offering of fragrant flowers. Please take the flowers and smear them with sandalwood paste. Offer them at Swamiji's feet, the end of the mantra. Pushpam Om Turiyavana Sampannam Nana Gunamanoharam Ananda Saurabham Pushpam Drihyadam Idamuttamam Om Hrim Etani Sajandana Pushpani Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Bhaushat. The next is the offering of the Bilva Patram, the favorite leaf of Paramashiva. Please take the Bilva leaf, smear with sandalwood paste, and offer it at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Bilva Patram Om Amrutodbhavam Sri Vriksham Shankarasya Sada Priyam Bilva Patram Prayachami Pavitram Te Sureshwara Om Hrim Etani Sajandana Bilva Patrani Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Vaushate. The next is the offering of the Tulsi Patram, the offering of the Tulsi leaf. Now, please take the Tulsi leaf, smear it with sandalwood paste in your hands, and offer it at Swamiji's feet, along with the mantra. Tulasi Patram Om Namaste Bahurupaya Bharadamurtaye Paramatmane Swaha Om Hrim Idam Sajandana Tulasi Patram Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next offering is Dhupa, the offering of the lit incense. Please take the lit Dhupa in your hands and offer them and wave them towards Swamiji along with the mantra. Please ring the bell as you do so. Om Vanatpariratho Divyo Gandhadhyastu Manohara Agre Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Pradigriyanam Om Hrim Ejadhupaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next offering is Deepa, the offering of the lit lamp. Now please take the lit lamp in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji along with the mantra. Deepaha Om सुप्रकाशो महादीपः सर्वदस्तिनिरापः सभाग्याभ्यन्तरज्योतिर्दीपोऽयं प्रतिविद्यताम् ॐ ह्रीं एष दीपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवाय नमः. The next is the offering of Naivedyam, the offering of food. Please take an udharani of water and hover it around the Naivedyam 3 times and offer the udharani of water at Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Please continuously ring the bell as you do so. Naivedyam Om Naivedyam Vividam Deva Shankara Adivinirmidam Maya Niveditam Bhaktya Grahana Parameshwara Om Hrim Idam Shovakarna Naivedyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Nivedayami. Now we'll offer Paniyam, the offering of drinking water. Now please take the udharani of drinking water in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Paniyam Om Samasthadeva Devesha Sarvatriptikaram Param Akhandananda Sampurnam Grahana Jalamuttamam Om Hrim Idam Panardodakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next is the offering of Punarachamaniyam, the offering of water for cleansing. Now please take an udharani of water and offer it at Swamiji's feet along with the mantra. Punarachamaniyam Om Uchishtamapyasuchirva yasya smaranamatrataha Shuddhimapnoti tasmai te punarachamaniyakam. Om Hrim Idam Punarachamaniyodakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Swaha. The next is the Aratrikam, the offering of the Arati. Please take the lit Arati lamp in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji along with the mantra. Please ring the bell continuously as you do so. Aratrikam Om Hrim Esha Deepamala Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Sangranyeshyayagate Imam Janatagum Sangananite Svadajaratnirajanapavati Svadajamata Samvatsara Samvatsarameva Varunde Maunje Bhavati Urgve Munjaha Urjameva Varunde Chitra Nakshatram Bhavati Chitram Maedat Karma Karpuragoram Sarvavataram Samsarasaram Bhujagendaram Sada Vadantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Aratrikam Samarpayami Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Charanakamaleਭ్యో Namaha. The next is Pushpanjali, the offering of our deep gratitude while we chant powerful verses. Please take some flowers in your hands, hold your hands in the Anjali Mudra and offer the flowers at Swamiji's feet at the end of the mantra. Pushpanjali Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandala Karam Yaptam Yena Charagaram तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदायिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्रीजगद्गुरुः ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याभिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि भगवत् नित्यानन्द परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। ॐ नित्यानन्दम्।
We'll now enter into the Paramashiva Puja.
Let us begin with the Tattva Achamana. Please bring your hands into the Gokarna Mudra. Pour an udharani of water in your palm and sip the water from your palm 3 times. Om Atma Tattvam Shodhayami Svada. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Svada. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Svada. Now rinse your hands. And with the base of your right hand thumb, wipe the upper and lower lip from right to left. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Rinse your hands. With the index, middle and ring fingers, touch above the upper lip, below the lower lip. Rinse your hands. With the index and thumb, touch the right nostril, the left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb, touch the right eye, right ear, left ear. Once again, rinse your hands. Next, with the little finger and thumb, touch the navel, the right chest, left chest. With all fingertips, touch above the head, the right shoulder, left shoulder, and heart center. Once again, rinse your hands. Next, we'll be entering into the Sakala Krama, which is the process of invoking Paramashiva in every part of our body. Now, please bring your hands in front of you. Open your palms. With your left hand, wipe the front and back of your right hand palm. With your right hand palm, wipe the front and back of the left palm twice. Om Hastraya Namaha. Bring your hands into a Namaskar Mudra in front of the third eye. Shaktaye Vaushate. Open your palms in front of you and touch the center of your palms with your thumb. Om Ham Shivasanaya Namaha. Om Ham Shivmotaye Namaha. Now slide your thumb over the little finger from top to bottom. Om Ham Satyojatamotaye Namaha. Slide your thumb over the ring finger. Om Him Vamadeva Guhyaya Namaha. Slide your thumb over the middle finger. Om Hum Agar Hridayaya Namaha. Slide your thumb over the index finger. Om Hem Datpurusha Vaktraya Namaha. Now slide your index finger over the thumb. Om Hom Ishanamurdaya Namaha. Touch the center of your palm with your thumb. Om Ham Hom Vidyadehaya Namaha. Bring your index, middle and ring fingers of both palms to the center of the palm. Om Ham Netrebhyo Namaha. Open your fingers, touch the center of the palm with the thumb. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Now slide your thumb over the little finger. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Slide your thumb over the index, over the ring finger. Om Him Shirase Namaha. Slide your thumb over the middle finger. Om Hum Shikaya Namaha. Slide your thumb over the index finger. Om Haim Kavachaya Namaha. Slide your thumb over the slide your index finger over the thumb. Om Hastraya Namaha. Now bring your hands into a fist and rotate your hands once around each other. Om Haim Kavachaya Om. Now bring your hands into a Namaskar Mudra in front of the third eye. Om Ham Shivaya Baushate. Open your palms in front of you and touch the center of your palms. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Now with your ring finger and thumb, touch the heart center. Om Ham Shivasanaya Namaha. Om Ham Shivamurtaye Namaha. With your thumb and little finger touch the respective knees. Om Ham Satyajatamurtaye Namaha. With your ring finger and thumb touch the navel center. Om Him Vamadeva Guhyaya Namaha. With your index finger, middle finger and thumb touch the heart center. Om Hum Agar Hridayaya Namaha. With your index finger and thumb touch the upper lip. Om Him Tatpurushavatra Namaha. With the tip of the tongue touch the top of the head. Om Hum Ishanamodaya Namaha. With the ring finger and thumb touch the heart center. Om Hum Vidyadehaya Namaha. With the index, middle and ring finger touch the three eyes. Om Hum Netrebhyo Namaha. With the ring finger and thumb touch the heart center. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. With the little finger and thumb touch the heart center. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. With the ring finger and thumb touch the top of the head. Om Him Sharase Swaha. With the middle finger and thumb touch the back of the head. Om Hum Shikade Namaha. With the now cross your left hand in front of your right hand and hook your index fingers. Now uncross your hands by rotating your hands around yourself and bring your hands to your side. Om Haim Kavachaya Hum. Now with your right thumb tap your left palm. With your left thumb tap the right palm. Om Hastraya Pate. With your index and middle fingers tap the left palm thrice. Om Hastraya Hum Pate. With the index finger and thumb snap in the 8 directions around you, once below and once above. Om Hastraya Pate. Now bring your hands to the top of the head, slide your hands around your body and bring your hands into Namaskara Mudra. Om Ham Shivaya Vaushate. Next is the preparation of Samanyarya. Place some akshata, flowers and sandalwood paste into the Panchapatram. Cover the mouth of the Panchapatram with your right palm and now we'll chant the Pranama Mantra Om 7 times. Om 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 Om. Now snap in the 8 directions around the Panchapatram, once below and once above. Om Astraya Pate. Now with your index finger, rotate in a clockwise direction around the Panchapatram. Om Haim Kavachaya Hum. Now show the Dena Mudra to the Panchapatram. Om Ham Shivaya Vaushate. Next is the Avahanam of Paramashiva. We'll be chanting the Dhyana Shloka. Now please take some akshata and offer it at Paramashiva's feet. Om Ham Shivasana Namaha. Now please take a few flowers in your hands. Bring your hands into the Namaskara Mudra. Close your eyes. Visualize Paramashiva in your inner space. And now we'll be chanting the Dhyana Shloka. Lalate Tripundri Nidhya Kasturi Tilakaha Spuranmala Dara Spurita Gadikaupi Navasanaha Dadano Dushkaram Chirasi Vanirajum Shashikala Pradipat Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate Induriva Panchamukastadashayuktam Shulamikatankam Sivajramavayam Syat Pasavardangushamani Jvalanavame Shwetakamalāsana Sadashiva Swarupam Om Ham Shivamurtaye Namaha. Now offer the flower at Paramashiva's feet. Now please bring your hands into Namaskara Mudra. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha. Dhyayami Avahayami. Now open your palms in front of Paramashiva and touch the center of your palms. Om Ham Shivaya Namaha Ityavahana Mudram Pradashya. Now turn your palms downward. Stapana. Bring your palms into a fist with the thumbs pointed up. Sannidhana. Bring your thumbs inside the fist. Nishtara Mudram Pradashya. Interlace your fingers with the thumbs out. Astraya Humpatidi Kalakandri Mudram Pradashya. Now perform the Linga Mudra. Linga Mudram. Perform the Namaskara Mudra. Namaskara Mudra. Now with your index finger perform the Avakuntanam. Om Haim Kavachayum Iti Avakuntana Mudram Cha Pradashya. Next we'll enter into the Upachara Puja, offering the external worship to Paramashiva. Now please take some akshata in your hands and offer it at Paramashiva's feet at the end of the mantra. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Asanam Samarpayami. Next is the offering of Padya, Argya and Achmana. Now please take an udhrani of water, show to the base of the Atmalinga and pour it into the Achmana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Namaha. Take another udhrani of water, show to the middle of the Atmalinga and pour it into the Achmana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Swada. Take another udhrani of water, show to the top of the Atmalinga and pour it into the Achmana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Swaha. Now bring your hands into the Namaskara Mudra. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Padyachramanargyam Dattvat. Next is the offering of Snaniyam, the water for sacred bath. Now please take an udhrani of water in your hands and offer the water onto Paramashiva along with the mantra, and please ring your bell as you do so. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Snanam Samarpayami. Now take another udhrani of water, show to the mouth of the Atmalinga and pour it into the Achmana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Swada. The next is the offering of clothes. Please take some akshata in your hands, hover it clockwise around the vastram and offer it at Paramashiva's feet. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Vastra Yajna Bhavido Uttarayavarnatam Akshatan Samarpayami. Next is the offering of sandalwood paste. Now please take some sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it onto the top of the Atmalinga, and then take some kumkum and apply it on top of the sandalwood paste along with the mantra. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Gandhandharayami. Now offer the kumkum. Gandhasyobari Haridra Kumkuma Churnam Samarpayami. Next is the Ashtapushpa Puja, where we will be offering flowers to the various different forms of Paramashiva. Each time the word Namaha is chanted, offer a flower. Om Bhavaya Devaya Namaha. Vasudevasya Patne Namaha. Om Sarvaya Devaya Namaha. Sarvasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Ishanaya Devaya Namaha. Ishanasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Pashvade Devaya Namaha. Pashvade Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Rudraya Devaya Namaha. Rudrasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Rudraya Devaya Namaha. Rudrasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Bhimaya Devaya Namaha. Bhimasya Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Mate Devaya Namaha. Madho Devasya Patne Namaha. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Ashtapushpa Pujam Samarpayami. Next is the offering of Bilvavatram. Please take a Bilvavatra or some flowers in your hands and offer it at Paramashiva's feet. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Bilvavatram Samarpayami. The next is the offering of Dhupa. Let's take an udhrani of water and sprinkle it on the bell. Om Hastraya Namaha. Now take an udhrani of water and sprinkle it on the Dhupa. Om Hastraya Vade. Offer a flower on the Dhupa. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now please take an lit incense stick in your hands and slowly wave it towards Paramashiva along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Om Dhurvantam Durvadanyosman Durvadidam Durvayam Vayam Durvahastam Devanamati Tasmitamam Vapritamam Dhishtatamam Vannitamam Devahutam Amaritamati Haritaram Drigum Asvamahva Mitrasit Vajakshisha Prekshir Mabirmadam Viktamasvaigum Jisham. Om Nam Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshivaya Namaha Dhupamagrapayami. Now please take an udhrani of water, show to the mouth of the Atmalinga and pour it onto the Achana Patra. Om Nam Shivaya Swada. The next is the offering of Deepa. Take an udhrani of water and sprinkle it on the Deepa. Om Hastraya Vade. Offer a flower on the Deepa. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now please take the Deepa in your hands and slowly wave it towards Paramashiva along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Om Uddevya Sajata Vedo Abhinyara Trimama Pajuga Shamakyama Vahajivanam Jadishodisha Mano Nigam Tejata Vedo Kamashwamburi Samjakale Abhibradagnagai Shriyama Paripataya. ओम ह्रां ओम शिवाय नमः श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिवाय नमः दीपं संदर्शयामि. Now take an udharani of water, show to the mouth of the Atmalinga and pour it into the Achmana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Swada. The next is the offering of Naivedyam, the offering of food. Now please take an udharani of water and sprinkle it on the Naivedyam. Om Asraya Vate. Now offer a flower on the Naivedyam. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now please take an udharani of water, hold clockwise around the Naivedyam and offer it at Paramashiva's feet along with the mantra. Om Madhvataridaya Madhukkaranti Sindavah Madhvena Sanmodadihi Madhuraksamadoji Madhvatpati Vagamridaha Madhudhyarasanamakita Madhuvano Madhuspatir Madhuvakam Madhusuryaha Madhvitavo Bhavandanaha Madhu Madhu Madhu. Om Ram Om Shivaya Namaha Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Param Shivaya Namaha. Nivedyam Nivedayami. Now take an udharani of water, show to the mouth of the Atmalinga and pour it into the Achamana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Swada. The next offering is Tambulam. Please take some turmeric mixed rice in your hands and offer it at Paramashiva's feet along with the mantra. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Smeta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha. Tambulam Samarpayami. The next is the offering of Arati. Now please take an udharani of water and sprinkle it on the Arati. Om Astraya Vate. Offer a flower on the Arati. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now please take the Arati in your hands and slowly wave it towards Paramashiva's feet along with the mantra. Om Somavahetasya Rajyanarte Yo Rajasan Rajyo Vaso Me Vedate Devasuma Medani Havikunti Bhavanti Edavando Devanagum Sabaha Evasme Savan Vayachanti Ena Purasuvante Rajaya Devasuraja Bhavati Radra Surya Vadila Chandrakam Nema Vidyuto Bandhikadoyamabhihi Tameva Bandhamanuvai Sarvam Dasya Vasa Dharmamidam Vihati Karpuraram Karunavadaram Samsarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha. Karpura Nirajanam Sandarshayami Rakshandarayami. Now please take a few flowers, hover it around the Arati and offer it onto Paramashiva's feet. Next is the offering of Pushpanjali. Now please take a few flowers in your hands. Bring your hands into the Namaskar Mudra. Close your eyes and offer the flowers at Paramashiva's feet at the end of the mantra. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha. Pushpanjalim Samarpayami. Next is the Japa. We'll be first performing the Gayatri Mantra Japa. Please hold your Yajna Pavita with your right hand and chant the Gayatri Mantra 11 times internally. If you have completed the Gayatri Mantra Japa, now bring your hands into Namaskara Mudra and chant the Shiva Mula Mantra 11 times internally. Next is the Shama Prarthana. Now please place a flower, akshata, and the dhurva grass in your hand. Offer Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha, Om Haim Kavachaya Hum, Om Ham Shivaya Vaushate. Now pour some water into your palms and offer the contents of your hand on Paramashiva's left hand side at the end of the mantra. Om Yadkinchit Karma Devesha Sada Surilskritam Tanmesha Vadastasya Bhumshaksha Vaishankara Shivo Dada Shivo Boka Shiva Sarvamidam Jagate Shivo Yadi Sarvatra Yashiva Sohamevatu. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Next is the Tattvachamam, the ritualistic cleansing. Please bring your hands into the Gokarna Mudra and offer a Purnudhani of water into your hands and drink the water at the end of the mantra. Om Atmadattvam Shodayami Svada. Om Vidyadattvam Shodayami Svada. Om Shivadattvam Shodayami Svada. Now rinse your right hand and wipe the upper and lower lip from right to left. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Rinse your hands with the index, middle and ring fingers. Touch above the upper lip, below the lower lip. Rinse your hands with the index finger and thumb. Touch the right nostril, the left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb, touch the right eye, right ear, left ear. Once again, rinse your hands. With the little finger and thumb, touch the navel, the right chest, the left chest. And with all fingertips, touch above the head, the right shoulder, left shoulder and heart center. Once again, rinse your hands. With this, we come to the end of the Shiva Puja. So let's bring our hands into the Namaskara Mudra, close our eyes, take a deep breath, and with gratitude, chant the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavadichyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padaramastu. Om